Conditional love versus unconditional love. What are the differences? Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this relationship series, we've already talked about love versus attachment, love versus infatuation, and healthy love versus toxic love. In today's episode, I will be talking about unconditional love versus conditional love. What is conditional love? Conditional love is when someone loves you based on something. Maybe they love you because you're skinny, they love you because you're beautiful, they love you because you're rich. There's always strings attached to their love. You find some people, they marry this skinny girl, and after the first baby, the woman has blown up, and then wahala starts. And he says, "Oh, I married you because you were skinny. You are now fat." That's conditional love. You don't want conditional love. It's toxic. You want a love that is unconditional. Someone loves you for who you are, for your just for being you, not because of anything, no strings attached. I know most people will say it's not possible to love someone with no strings attached, but it is possible. That's unconditional love. Is when someone loves you with no strings attached. They just love you because you're you. We all want to be loved for who we are, not because of one thing or the other. Unconditional love is love that is freely given. You are loved because of who you are, without any strings attached. Unconditional love, apart from being given freely, it allows room for growth. It allows room for mistakes. It allows room for changes, It recognizes the fact that that someone, can change. It gives you room to change. That's unconditional love. They love you whether you're slim or you're fat. They love you just as you are. This doesn't mean ignoring unhealthy behavior. Unconditional love does not mean being taken for granted. It just means that you can be loved not for your conditions. It means that, you can be loved for who you are, what you are, not for, "Oh, I love you only when you're like this," or "I love you only when you have money, and when you don't have money, I'm out the door." So those are the differences between conditional love and unconditional love. Okay, the key differences between conditional love and unconditional love. Conditional love is earned. You have to do something to earn that love, and when you're not doing that thing, that's the end of that love. And unconditional love is receiving. You receive it without any strings attached. Conditional love, you are loving with fear, because You know that if you don't look a certain way, if you're not behaving a certain way, the person might leave you. So you're always in fear of being left because of something you're not doing. And unconditional love is secured. You know that you're loved for you, for who you are. But it doesn't mean you should misbehave because you're loved unconditionally. No, that's not it. Conditional love loves with control. Someone has to be in control of that love. That is conditional love. You don't want that. Unconditional love gives you freedom. Just gives you freedom to be you. You're not under any pressure to be a certain way. Conditional love is temporary. It doesn't last, because if you're not being true to yourself in that relationship, one day the person who is in control will walk in and see you as you are, and that's not what he wants to see, and that's that can bring an end to that relationship. But unconditional love is lasting, because you're loved for who you are. How do we cultivate unconditional love? You start with self-love, because you can't give what you don't have. If you don't love yourself, how can you love another person? So you have to start with self-love. You have to practice forgiveness, both for yourself and for others, because if you get to forgive yourself and forgive other people, then you're not holding on to things, if you know what I mean. You're not holding on to negativity that will affect your relationship. You have to set healthy boundaries. Unconditional love doesn't mean you tolerate nonsense. It doesn't mean you tolerate mistreatment. That's not what it means. It just means that somebody loves you for who you are. Another way to cultivate unconditional love is by choosing love where it comes without conditions. You go into a relationship and you're giving conditions, just leave it, walk out. You will find love with someone who will give you unconditional love, not love with strings attached. Conditional love can feel like a contract. Oh, that's actually what it is, a contract, because you're given a list of how you're to behave, how you're to look, how you're to present yourself to other people. So it's actually a contract. Conditional love is actually a contract. And unconditional love just feels like a safe home. You're just free to be you as you are. Think about your relationships. Do you think you're in a conditional relationship or an unconditional relationship? Let me know in the comments below, or tell me about a time when you were in a conditional relationship, or as I call it, contract love. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever had that kind of a relationship. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so like this video, share it, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next series. All right, take care.